actually, like, because Ava was parked behind me. The truck was parked behind me. So I had to move it to get mine out. So what I was gonna do is so I moved it and I pulled it to the side in between our basketball hoop and the tree, pull mine out. I was gonna pull hers back up. I don't like pulling it over to the right because that's when she backed out that one time it got stuck in the ditch. Because I knew she was still gonna, as at that moment, had a after school um, thing she had to be at 5 because the weather was gonna get better and all that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull the truck back up. So I pulled my car down and I backed the truck up and I was going to pull it back up to the garage and I couldn't move. My driveway was that icy. Like every time I touched the gas, the truck slid back.
All
And I
right.
was like, I was like, so what do I do here? Do I go all the way out to the street and then go in? But then I was like, no, I'm gonna get stuck in the ditch somehow. I just know it. You know what I mean? Like knowing my luck, something bad's gonna. I'm gonna get stuck in the street. Something. So I just put it in park. I put the emergency brake on. I went back inside. I told him because Morgan was up anyway. I said, "Hey, the truck's halfway down the driveway. I'm just letting you know. Parker brakes on. I can't. I can't get it back up right now. So I'm just
All
glad I.
right.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't like try to fuck around with it. Because you know how your mind thinks like, no, I'm gonna get out of this fucking situation, even though it wasn't not that bad of a situation.
Yeah, but the more you try to get out of it, you make it worse. And then,
But like I said, every time I tried to like go forward, I was going backwards. I was like, all right, well, then you second guess yourself. You're driving, and you're like, should I chuck the wheels? I was like, no, I put the emergency brake on, and I texted Morgan like an hour later. I said, hey, the truck's still in the driveway, right? It's not, it didn't like slide down to the road. She's like, it's fine. I was like, okay.
all right. Well, thank you for starting us off with that story because we are live and
Oh
worldwide
shit, I
on
didn't
the
know
Gimmick
that.
Minute Wrestling Podcast. I was just gonna let you keep talking. I clicked record like a few minutes ago, so
I kind of figure you did because of the looks on your face. You kind of do that.
I was like,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Let's keep this going, Kevin.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought you would see the countdown, but I don't think you saw the countdown. I don't
Nope.
think you were
Did,
looking
definitely
down.
did
But
not.
all right, well, hey, welcome everybody to the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast. We don't just talk about icy driveways and trucks stuck in the middle of them. We do talk about some pro wrestling. You can join the conversation by following us on our X account, which is at Live Your Gimmick. That's the at symbol followed by LIVYOURGIMMICK. You can also find the video version of our podcast on YouTube. That's youtube.com. Just search Gimmick Minute. You can also find us on Spotify as well if you want to watch the video version and see our smiling faces as we talked about this topic. So, I am Jason. I got Kevin with me, and then we have another guy, Riley, that will probably, hopefully, be joining us maybe at some point during this episode. If not, he won't be. So, it's like one of those situations. If he's not on in 5 minutes, just wait longer. And if he doesn't show up, then he doesn't show up. But we got me and Kev. So what's up, Kev? How you doing?
Oh, good. Doing good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the majority of the shows gets around the Royal Rumble and the SmackDown before, Raw after. Quick little mention AEW wise. I don't know if you caught Dynamite at all last night, but
There's only one thing worth talking about,
Tony
and
Tony
yes,
Storm
that was
impersonating Mariah May.
so awesome. That was so like I didn't watch it. Like I said, my viewing of wrestling throughout the week is limited as is. Anyway, I still have Netflix issues, so like I
Mm-hmm.
can only watch highlights of Raw right now. Um, but I think I turned on Dynamite at some point last night, but I don't remember what it was when I turned it on.
There she
Um,
is for your viewing pleasure.
yes, but then I always go back and I'll go on their X account and see, and that was just
Yeah, spot on.
like, oh, I mean, and again, and like I said last week, Mariah May, like her expressions,
Mm-hmm.
and just like just I mean, please AEW, don't fuck this up.
It's so simple with the storytelling and everything that they do, like just the facial expressions, the reactions. I mean, this is the same thing with what's made the Bloodline storyline so good. Like, when Jay said, "I don't give a damn about the tribal chief," it was Roman's face that sold that, like that whole time. Or even when Sammy turned on him and hit him, like his face sold that. It's more than just your body selling things. You gotta emote what's going through your mind to help the audience connect. Like it's a very similar thing than what TV and screen actors do.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean that
And
was really good.
and it's good too because it can mask, like, it doesn't have to always be about in the ring wrestling.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a big part of it, obviously, putting on a good match and stuff. But like you said, if you have a tremendous story outside, inside, you know what I mean? Like, you put all those components together, and that's what they've done with this. Because let's face it, last week when they did the whole thing with Tony Storm, what a swerve!
Hmm.
Didn't see that coming. We didn't know what was, what I mean, like, where were they going to go with this? So, and this is one of those situations where it seems like it happened kind of quickly, from her going timeless back to, like, normal Tony Storm, and then right back. But like, this, I'm actually okay with.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I
it
mean?
was designed as that for the purpose of this story. and
Hmm.
and really, I mean, they did let it breathe, though. I mean, it was
Yeah.
about a month or more that she portrayed that old Tony Storm character. So it's
And
been
Luther
going
coming
on
back
for.
too, which is cool. Like,
What's that?
Luther was with her. Luther was with
Oh
her,
yeah,
on the Jericho cruise or whatever.
yeah.
So maybe
Enzo and Cass teamed up in on the
I
Jericho
saw
Cruise
that.
too. That
Yeah.
was cool. Did you happen to see the other another thing? So there's two other things that kind of stood out to me. Did you see the Mariah May promo where she did a tran- tranquilivist act with a Mercedes Monet puppet?
I didn't. I saw your comment on X
Yeah,
about how that
it
was
was the
really
best
good.
Mercedes Monet promo that
Yeah.
she's done
Yes.
since being in
Okay.
AEW.
Yeah.
Dude, it was great. Mariah May is a special talent, dude. I mean, she can sing, she can do the ventriloquism. I mean, she's a knockout to look at. She's the total package, and the fact that they're kind of pushing her in this playoff that she's doing with Mercedes is kind of bringing out Mercedes a little bit too.
Hmm.
Not to compare her to Bailey, but when you have a good baby face for Mercedes and that bitchy heel character that she plays, kind of like her build up with Bailey going into their match in Brooklyn, it's kind of the same vibe a little bit with Mariah. Like she's bringing that character a little bit out in Mercedes, but she's even overshining her because, like I said, she's super talented, and she did that without even missing a beat the other night
Hmm.
or last night. So that was cool. And then Ricochet and Swerve, their story has actually been a decent one. Swerve has done a really good job of kind of bringing people up to his level, which it's kind of funny because you think of how Swerve kind of left WWE, and since he stepped into AEW, he's kind of proven that he's the leader of the pack. Like this dude is ultra talented, and you can
Hmm.
build around him. And he's been able to he's been able to lift up Hangman. He's been able to lift up even Ricochet to this point. Like he's done a good job of making his stories ones that you actually kind of pick out and you remember.
Yes,
So
I agree.
and
And the Dustin Rhodes promo,
yeah, that was
I
good.
saw a little bit of that. It was good,
That was
but
good. It's just MJF just keeps going like, dude, MJF promos are the same every week, and
mhm.
he's going after the low hanging fruit. It's just he's I don't know if he's exposing himself a little bit or if that's just kind of what he's going for, but for a while there he had everybody, but now it seems like he's kind of lost it a little bit. But
Yeah, I,
I mean, I hate to say this, but he should have just made the move to WWE when he had the opportunity to. But
yeah, but like, but think about this for a second. Like, would he? will we still get the same MJF? I mean, I guess with Triple H in charge, like he would kind of
Yeah.
give him the free reign.
Yeah, I mean he'll give him enough to hang himself. But the thing is though too, he would have other people that he could bounce ideas off of. Like, you know what I mean? Like Triple H trusts people to do their own promos if they have the ability to, but they have other writers there that they can sit with and go over like, okay, this is what I want to say, and then get feedback and then come up with like a creative process that maybe would weed out some of the repetitiveness of some of the stuff that he says and does when he goes out there.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of rinse repeat. That's it with Jeff Jarrett. It's the same story he's told with every other person that he's wrestled. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I guess we'll see. And then I'll be honest too. If the whole Death Rider thing is leading to Cope winning the AEW championship, I'm about to check out completely. Like why? Like if you're gonna run the storyline, you got to have somebody beat him that's never held it before that you can build up, like in a over a long period of time. But it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing.
No, that's no, I don't know. I don't know what the point of it all is. And like I don't
If it's
know.
not going to lead
Like
to Orange Cassidy or Darby Allin winning the AEW World Championship, it's like, what are they even doing?
and the thing is like that Death Riders group like doesn't scare me. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I
Like
gotcha.
you know what I
Like you
mean?
don't.
Like yeah. It's not like I don't know. I think I fear them as a fan. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, here come the Death Riders. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I kind of get what you're saying, but all right, enough about that. Let's talk about WWE. Big, huge week. I mean, they had a huge SmackDown taping. Then they had the Royal Rumble, which was sold out. Where there was about 80,000 in the building in the Lucas Oil for the it's like 76,
I
78,000,
can't
something like
remember.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big number either way. But SmackDown being the go home show, it didn't really. I mean, there was a little bit of story with CM Punk and Kevin Owens, which I thought that was pretty good. Um, we had Jimmy Uso and Carmelo Hayes, but there wasn't a whole lot of push towards the Royal Rumble outside of, no, there really wasn't a whole lot of push towards the Royal Rumble. Like
Mm-mm.
there just wasn't a ton of, but there was only 4 matches on the show. So getting into it, we'll start off. We had the Women's Royal Rumble, which we pretty much had an idea that Charlotte Flair was going to win, right? That was kind of the predictable one. She's
Mm-hmm.
coming back. We thought they were gonna. They thought we thought that we were going to go that direction. They went that direction. What I loved about the Women's Royal Rumble, we had a couple surprises. We had Trish that came out. I think the other one was, oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Not the troll one by WWE. There was another one.
Alexa
Oh,
Bliss.
Jordan Grace, I guess, was one. But yeah, Alexa Bliss, that's the one where they trolled everybody. So I was going to talk about that a little bit more in depth. But I feel like there was one other than those two.
I don't.
I can't.
I
Oh,
don't.
Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella was the other one.
Nikki
She
Bell.
came out
Yeah.
number 30. Yeah. So yeah. Dude, I thought the Women's Rumble was set up very well. I enjoyed the match. But dude, Alexa Bliss coming out was awesome, but the fact that they rubbed it in Dave Meltzer's face was the best part of that whole thing. Like just the I thought she wasn't coming back because earlier it was either earlier that day or the day before Meltzer had put out a tweet that said WWE and Alexa Bliss are very far apart on numbers. She will not be in the Royal Rumble. And then literally, not only was she in the Royal Rumble, she had a new jacket that said Beth or Fiend. It said Friends, but the letters Fiend were
Mm-hmm.
in red, and then like Fiend for Life or something like that. And so she had a new jacket. It was the same gear she had when she originally left, but the Lily doll had a. I didn't even notice this at the time. Somebody pointed it out. but it had a symbol in one eye and then 6 in the other eye. So I think they're hinting towards
Hmm.
her being a part of the Wyatts, and maybe that's why the Wyatts have been off TV for the past couple of weeks, and they had this move to SmackDown. They're maybe anticipating Alexa Bliss being a part of it, so um, they they maybe held off a little bit, which
Which is
I'm
fine
fine
and
with.
all, but I mean, which is fine, but like I don't know, I do like normal old Alexa Bliss too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought for her size and stuff and everything, she was actually pretty strong of a character, especially as a heel,
yeah.
and as a champion. So um,
And she could eventually be back to that, but I think right now I
right now,
think there's
yeah,
some of that story that they never got a chance to finish telling. So I think that's kind of why they want to go
yeah.
that direction with it. But yeah, it was great to see her back. It was good to see Nikki Bella back. But then Charlotte definitely got the win and is doing a tour. She was on Raw. She was on NXT. I imagine she'll be on SmackDown tomorrow to kind of determine who she's going to face. I mean,
How
I
about
got
the
to Matt.
news? How about the news that her and Andrade are officially divorced?
Yeah, yeah.
Came out. That was kind of
So since
interesting.
he's so since he's on SmackDown, that means she's going to challenge Rhea Ripley, so she stays on Raw if she wins.
Yeah, I guess. Well, if we're gonna seriously think about it, like a lot of people were predicting she's gonna challenge Tiffany Stratton, but like,
Because of
I
the
mean,
belt that she holds, or because of
I guess I don't know.
see,
Like
I
somebody,
would go ahead.
no, somebody had like, and like I said, maybe this is just their fancy booking, but like they seemed pretty adamant of like what they thought like their WrestleMania card was gonna be, and it was Charlotte against Tiffany, and it was Rhea against Bianca.
Weird. Okay.
So yeah, but I don't know. I think I guess if you put Charlotte with Tiffany, that's a bigger like I guess spotlight match for Tiffany.
For Tiffany
You know what I
is
mean?
for
For
not
Tiffany,
yeah, not so much for Charlotte, but for Tiffany
that's
it's
what I
a big
mean.
deal.
Like maybe for her, you know what I mean? Maybe to where like you have Charlotte in one women's title match and you have Rhea in another women's title match. Maybe we get two bigger women's title matches. I don't know.
And Tiffany is the Money in the Bank winner. So there's less likely of a chance that she makes it to WrestleMania as champion than Rhea Ripley too. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility of them putting that championship on somebody else if it's not going to be Rhea and Charlotte to make it more of a marquee match.
Yeah.
Not that Tiffany just doesn't have the pedigree behind her to be like a I kind of feel like their styles are a little too similar and they look a little too similar. Like that's not on my dream match card to see Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair right now.
So if Charlotte did challenge Rhea, that would be the third time, right?
Correct.
And it would be for a third different championship, if I'm not
Correct.
mistaken. Okay.
Correct. And the title belt that Rhea is holding is a descendant of the big gold belt, which is the one that her father is famous for touting around.
Right.
So,
I
I
just think
just
there's this. I just think there's too much there to not have that match.
I mean that main event's night one of WrestleMania if it's them because that story that they can tell about it being their third. I mean, I feel like that is going to put that as a bigger story than just about on the any other on the WrestleMania card.
Well,
I mean, depending on how it shakes out, but
that's the thing, and I know we don't want to jump ahead because I know you want to talk about the Rumble and stuff more, but like think of potential main event matches for both nights, right? So let's say theoretically Jay challenges Gunther, okay?
right,
Let's say Charlotte challenges Rhea. Okay, there's two right there. Let's say Cena wins Elimination Chamber and challenges Cody.
yeah,
Okay. Let's say we get the possibility of a Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns triple threat match.
yeah,
That could, you know what I mean? Like, that could be a main event too,
hmm
just depending on how they do it. So, you know for a fact Cody's main eventing night two. Like that's got to be pretty much a given, I would say. So that leaves one main event. You know what I mean? Like,
Let me ask you this. So, right after the Royal Rumble ended, they were talking about how Cody was injured in the ladder match. Like Cole was actually talking about it on commentary. I think you had left the house, so I don't think you.
I no, I turned on Peacock on my phone on the way home, and I
Okay.
was listening. I was listening to it, not watching it driving home.
What about a scenario where Cody's injured, so the Elimination Chamber then becomes for the title belt?
I could
I
see
think
that.
that could change some things up because if maybe they're gonna, Cody, you had 2 huge WrestleManias. You don't need to be a part of this one. Take some time off. Like you've been on this long run. I mean, even though he's only been champion for a year, he's basically been on a 2-year run. And that would be a way to get the belt off of him without him losing it. Like, Triple H has
And
been
then he
known to do
and then he
that.
comes back at SummerSlam,
Yeah, yeah. Take some time off,
or
come back.
he wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Like there's definitely ways that you can do that, bring him back, and then put him back in that title picture once he gets back. But I think that will change up a lot because I could almost see a scenario where you almost
Plus, not to interrupt you, but plus they can kind of say, "Hey, we kind of did you a solid last year
right,
because that's not what we had planned,
right,
but you kind of did this. It's okay because it worked out fucking tremendous. So maybe,
right.
yeah, I guess I have mixed feelings about that because,
I mean, we'll find out more tomorrow night on SmackDown, but
yeah,
I have a feeling, and they didn't really elaborate it with it on Monday Night Raw. And he wasn't there. They've already pivoted Kevin Owens away. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, but here's what I'm seeing for WrestleMania. So let's say the
oh man,
scenario.
Cody's gonna lose his smile.
All right, see if this makes sense for you. So let's say the Elimination Chamber is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Let's say Cena wins or whoever wins. I can envision a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania: Cena, Reigns, Punk, Rollins
Because we
for
had
the
that
World
four-way
Heavyweight
showdown.
Championship. Right. So that's what I'm seeing happening. I'm seeing Cody having an injury, having to relinquish the title, and I'm seeing hell, maybe they'll even make it a 5-way and throw the final boss in there just to have some fun with it. But I can just see a scenario where we got Cena, Reigns, Punk, Rollins, main event, one of the nights WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then Uso will go face Gunther because he's already had a couple matches with Gunther, and it's kind of the same. Oh, it's almost the same story as with Sammy the prior year. Oh, you can't get it done. You can't get it done. You can't get it done. But I got a feeling he's got to get it done at Mania, right? Like we got to have Mania.
I mean, just after Monday.
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean,
Shout out to the Cleveland crowd, man. I wish I could have been there for that. That was fucking awesome. Awesome.
but they got shit on for booing Charlotte.
Yeah, which I don't understand why she was being booed so heavily. But I mean, the crowd's gonna do with it. At least they were making noise. It could have been worse.
Yeah, but I think that's the path she wants to go anyway. Like, I think she wants to be.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so
she
too.
wants. I think this new, like, from what I heard or read, was like where she wants her character to go is yeah, I am the shit. I
Yeah,
am.
love me
I'm
or
a
hate
million.
me, I am who I am.
I'm a millionaire. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that was the
so I think
impression
that.
that I was getting. So if that, unless she just kind of pivoted from based off their reaction, but yeah, that was the impression I was getting too. Love me or hate me, I am who I am. I don't care if you cheer, I don't care if you boo, as long as you're making some noise that you're putting money in my pocket, type thing,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah. So the women's Royal Rumble, I thought went really well, and then they followed it up with the 2 out of 3 tag match, and I think we really got to see who the Motor City Machine Guns are. Like they performed excellent in that match. So did DIY. We got the swerve at the end with the Street Profits interfering and costing the Machine Guns the titles, but then also attacking DIY because DIY took them out initially. I thought was pretty good, and I thought the Street Profits looked freaking awesome, man. They look like they are ready to go.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation as to them not being on TV. Like there's some issues, and they wanted released and shit like that. But here it turns out Dawkins was having a meniscus surgery. That's why they were off TV for a little while. So
yeah.
Once again,
I think we got ourselves a nice little triple threat in the making there.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. My question would be: are they gonna actually put it on the WrestleMania card, or it'll be like the week
free
the
for all
SmackDown before? Or something like that, yeah. But
the free for all on the pay-per-view channel.
Yeah. Or the Sunday Night Heat before on TV. But yeah, man, the Street Profits, if they don't win at this point, like I feel like you either have to go with these guys or you need to break them up and have them do something solo. And I get that that's not what they want, but Montez specifically, man, like that dude has so far he can climb being a solo act. And I'll be honest, I don't think Dawkins will do that bad either. So I mean, I think both those guys could be great solo acts if and when they're ready to do that. But
yes,
but I get if they want one more run with the tag titles. I think they deserve that. But all right, and then we go into the ladder match, which, dude, some of the spots in that match like made me hurt. Like my neck has been stiff after seeing, especially that whatever that move is that Kevin Owens does every time somebody tries to superplex him off the top, where I guess it's kind of like a fisherman suplex off the top that he does.
Yeah, it's like a reverse fisherman's suplex neck breaker. He calls it something. I forget what it is though.
Onto that ladder, like just fucking brutal. I mean, he hit his head, Cody hit his back and neck on it. I mean, it was freaking crazy. And then the Alabama slam through the ladder off the table, just insane. I mean, just insane. And the whole thing with Sami Zayn, and then that played out on Monday night when Kevin Owens attacked Sami. So
CM Punk and Sami had a fucking classic match.
They did. How about Punk wrestling on Raw? Good for him.
Oh yeah. I had to go back and I saw highlights and I saw the end of that. Somebody said they just had a classic, so I went back and was able to catch it and everything. And
yeah, it was a great match.
Fucking absolutely great match. And then even like they had like after behind the scenes footage and like Punk was like calling for paramedics and stuff and for Sami. So looks like we're gonna get Sami KO.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with that. I think that's gonna be a WrestleMania match, and they don't need a title, man. They have so much history.
Oh my god,
bad blood with them. That story is gonna have some merit on its own. I could see maybe after Mania, Kevin Owens taking some time off because he's been going pretty rough. Like he's kind of reminds me of like what McIntyre was doing going into Mania last year, or maybe it was going into SummerSlam, whichever. Or I don't know.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
He was just kind of like on all the time. And then when he, I think it was Mania because after Punk cost him, he took I think he showed up the week after, but then disappeared for a few weeks. But I think Kevin could use that time just because he's been going so hard for so long now. Like he's been a mainstay. I mean, almost for as long as Cody has been over the last year. So, but yeah, Kevin and Sami, I think will be an awesome match. But man, that championship match, it showed a different side of Cody, I think for sure.
Oh yeah, it's the Highlander Cody. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was again. It was one of those matches where it was kind of like you're watching it, all right, but like it was for me the match. I mean, I know there's only 4 matches. I know 2 of them are Rumble matches. But like to me, it was like big time moments of the night, and if you had to give it a match of the night, to me it was Cody and KO.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was definitely a fantastic match.
Kevin Owens is just such a he's like a Kane. a constant,
Yeah.
just like an MVP. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he had one little title run as a Universal Champ, had a couple U.S. title runs, and outside of that, nothing. You know what I mean? Like he really hasn't been like a crazy multi-time champion. And, he had a tag title run here and that, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's never
100%.
been the man for a long period of time. So, but and the dude's just a fucking. He may not look like the quintessential athlete, but the dude is. Oh, he's tremendous.
He is. He is. And he's been an MVP for sure. Like he definitely has been just everything they've needed him to be. So I got nothing but good things to say about Kevin Owens. Let's see. That being said, we got the men's Royal Rumble after that. And I'll be honest with you, the men's Royal Rumble is good. I think the only surprise was, I mean, there's Joe Hendry, but that was announced. There was one other one? Who was in the men's Rumble that we didn't expect? I'm kind of drawing a blank now.
Honestly, I don't even.
I feel like there was a return of somebody, but maybe I'm thinking of what we thought was going to happen. Now what actually happened?
That could
Was
be
it
it.
just Joe Hendry? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, never mind that. So the men's Royal Rumble was I mean, I liked it. I liked the presentation of it. I thought we got some really, really cool I thought we got some really cool matchups, and they pretty much matched up Jacob Fatu with just about everybody. Oh, ISO Speed. That's who I was thinking was the other
Oh yeah,
participant
yeah.
that wasn't supposed to be in it. How could I forget that
We got
viral moment?
fucking spirit out of his fucking skeleton.
My God, dude! You know what that reminded
Big
me of?
ups, dude. Big ups to him, man, for taking that.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because he
Remember,
fucking. I mean, Breaker did not lay back on that one at all.
you know what that gave me flashbacks of? Remember when we were freshmen, or not freshmen, sophomores in high school, and we had to be the tackling dummies for like the defensive linemen and the linebackers. Like literally, we would stand in front of this big green pad and just stand there and get hit, right? And I remember there's a couple times where, the momentum took me and I'm expecting to land on the green pad, but I totally miss it and land on the ground. Like that's what that like
Yeah.
when he got hit, like that's where my head went. Like that's like I was like that's what I identified with that. Yeah, I mean he got fucking annihilated, and then he got thrown out onto Otis, who then threw him onto the announce table real
Yeah.
hard. Like that was kudos. Like I don't really know who that kid is. I've never really seen him on YouTube. I've just seen him when he showed up on WWE a couple times. But kudos to him for taking that bump and everything. That was crazy.
But like that, just like it amazes me how like some people like him, like a Logan Paul, like Bad Bunny, are just able to go out there anymore and just seem so relaxed and like you know what I mean for like not being. I don't care if they did some training or went over some stuff or whatever. That doesn't matter. Even for a
No.
5 second spot like that, you and I would need to train for like 8 months. You know what I mean? But seriously,
Yeah.
like there's no. It's just tremendous. Like yeah, that was
And
cool.
Logan Paul is just straight up exposing the business. Did you see where he posted a video of him practicing jumping onto the announce table?
Yes.
So every time he does something athletic in a match now, he's got to show like the build up, like that SummerSlam moonsault that he did off the springboard thing that he did. He had to show everybody how he worked on that. But
So who was Drew McIntyre pissed at? Was he pissed at LA Knight or was he pissed at Logan Paul or both of them?
the getting their shit. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I'm really not sure, and I don't even know if that was just him being in character mad at somebody or if that was legit. I really
Supposedly he legit stormed out there and was pissed off.
yeah.
And but like some people are like, well, they
That's his
think,
character.
but they think that Drew and Damian rushed their spot because LA Knight and Logan Paul were clearly in the middle of the ring about to do something, and then they went into theirs. Now, could they have gone too quick? Maybe, but like they're like for Drew to, if he was legit pissed, like to be a veteran like that, he should have been like, okay, let's take it back a sec, do your
Right.
thing, get out of our way, and then let's do our elimination. So, which it
Yeah.
was because like that elimination was like, wait, what? What just fucking happened?
Yeah.
So I could see frustration.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I didn't even really think of it that way. Like I saw the stuff about him being pissed, but I didn't really look that deep into it because I was just like, that's it's kind of who his character is. So I can understand him trying
Yeah.
to, especially since he hasn't been on TV since then too. So because I don't think he was on Raw. Maybe I'm
Mm-mm.
wrong, but I don't recall him being on
I
Raw.
don't think he was.
So, but yeah, but then the face off that we had just talked about with Roman Punk, then Seth came in and just started fighting. Like that was pretty awesome. It was a really cool moment. And Cena, dude, Cena started looking like Cena for a minute, and but then to get that surprise elimination, that I watched it back a little bit ago when he got super kicked on the apron and did that where he was holding on, like that was fucking
Yeah.
sweet.
Well, I want before we get to the very end of the match, the story that was built in it with Punk eliminating Rollins
Oh
and
yeah,
Roman at the same time. Roman looking and then CM Punk getting eliminated, which we were all like,
yeah.
what the fuck just happened? And but then Roman looking at Punk saying, what the hell? What?
It's my camera. It's got real fuzzy all of a sudden. It's not
Oh,
focused.
I thought you were like, I thought you were like, back up, Kevin.
Oh no, no, you're good. Keep going.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. But then Roman looking at Punk and saying, "What the heck? We were just partners. You know what I mean? Why would you do that to me?"
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, Roman dying.
yeah, dude. That stomp was
Oh my
brutal.
God! I watched somebody who's like a big Roman Reigns fan like reaction video to that, and he's just like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "Oh my," it was so funny. He's like, "Oh my God! Seth just killed Roman. Oh my God, he's dead." Like I think the guy legit thought Roman was dead because
Really.
he's like, "Oh my God, he just killed him." What? Um, but God, then them brawling, then him to do it again, and going after
Yeah,
Paul Heyman, and Punk and Rollins again, and Rollins going this way, and Punk going back that way, and Punk getting in Heyman's face, and oh my God, like
yeah,
it was one of those moments where it was just fucking such brilliant chaos that you know what I mean, like you said, you don't need any surprises in a Rumble,
right,
maybe one. But like when you have something like that built into it, what who gives a shit? Who's oh my God, who's number 30?
right.
Like that was so well done. Like the whole sequence just never saw it coming. I'm not saying like I think we thought Punk was going to win, but we're like okay, well maybe no way he's not going to be like last two.
Right,
You know what I mean? And then for it to come down to Cena and Jay, you're like okay, Cena's winning.
right. Nope,
Cena's winning.
no, nobody expected Jay to win that. Not at all.
You know when you're watching, if you go on ESPN and you're following a game and the score is like 100 and you know the Cavs are up 115 to 100 with 10 seconds left,
Yeah,
what's the probability to win? 99.99%.
right.
At that moment, John Cena's probability to win the Rumble was 99.99%.
Yeah,
And then we got I like to call it the Big Show stepping through a table spot
yeah,
because that's what it was like.
yep.
Because Cena was just like, you had all that, and then literally like Jay kissed him on the back of his neck, and Cena fell off the apron.
I mean, he ran into him. Like what it was? No, it was he was coming off of the attitude adjustment, and he basically had his arms and like let go, like pulled back, and the ropes propelled him off the
Yeah,
apron.
yeah,
Is basically what happened. Yeah. But yeah, he just kind of like landed and like stopped. And it's like, wait, am I really on the ground right now? And you talk about the facial expressions, like how well did his facial expressions sell that?
And then he got right back in the ring, and got right in Jay's face. But then it was like they had a moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It was great. It was very well done.
but what about Cena at the press conference?
Yeah,
Dude, that
very
might be,
somber.
but it had to be like one of his best like promos ever.
Oh, without a doubt.
One of the
Yeah,
best things he's ever cut in his entire career. And
yeah,
I'm like I said, I was listening to it on my way home. Um, and it, when he started off, he said, "I'm not going to be taking any questions. This is just a statement." And I, because he was real, he's
yeah,
like, I'm selfish. I don't give a shit. Basically, I don't give a shit what you think. I'm in the elimination chamber. I'm winning it. I'm winning the
yeah,
title. Blah blah blah. But the line of it was, I'm gonna win number 17 so I can shake the hand of whoever wins number 18.
yeah. I like
Mic
that
drop.
line.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Yeah,
So,
yep.
um,
And that's another reason why I feel like the elimination chamber is going to be for the title, because they could have that 5-way at May, or the 4-way at Mania. I mean, you could even make it a 5-way, throw Cody in there too. You know, maybe Cody's healthy by Mania. You know what I mean? Like, okay, he's out, but he'll be healthy by Mania, and he'll be a surprise addition to the match or something like that. Whatever. Maybe he wins it back. Maybe they put it on Punk. Maybe they put it on Rollins, or to surprise everybody. I don't know, but one way or the other.
in the end of the day, like we were talking about the matches and stuff of possible main events for the two nights. To me, think about it now, is that Jey Uso deserves a main event. I
Yeah,
mean, he had one in the tag match, but for the title, he deserves a main event. Charlotte and Rhea, they don't need a main event.
yeah,
They can go on first. Um, but yes, a good main event, like if would be that what you
yeah.
just said. So,
So yeah, and that'd be the way to get it to happen. Cena wins the elimination chamber, wins the title, and then you get the other
if that
guys.
was the first initial surprise of the year, the whole ending sequence of the Rumble,
Yeah.
we're in for something
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
good. For something good. So,
And anybody that questions why Jey Uso is in this position, tune in to Raw on Monday on Netflix and see him interacting with that crowd in his entrance. The emotion, like, he was emotional cutting his promo. Like, he's not used to, like, he doesn't usually like get personal in promos, so I think that might have been a little harder on him talking about himself, because typically when he can talk about his opponents and he can kind of, flow with it, like, he does a pretty good job. But that was the first time that he really got super personal about himself, even through the whole bloodline stuff. Like, I feel like he didn't get that emotionally into it.
yeah, and I also think I'm sorry, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but like you were talking about, like it has to be against Gunther because like think about it, it's time for Gunther to get a little bit of a deserved break too.
Yeah,
If you think about it, he's been a champion now for what, like 900 days, 800 out of 900 days between the IC title and the World Heavyweight title.
right.
Those numbers are a little high, but you know what I mean. Like so,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Him taking a little break, I mean,
yeah,
makes sense. And it's just, like I said, it's just so similar to the story that they told with Sammy last year with the IC title. Now doing the
right.
same thing for the
He's
world
gonna be like,
title.
"Why would you pick me? You can't beat me. I've
Right,
already beaten you."
right. Yeah, I
So,
mean, but at the same time, though, I think just like I said, that Cleveland crowd, and the fact that they did the one more time thing, and then WWE hit the music again, like, that's fucking
dude,
awesome.
how about the orange and brown yeet?
Yeah, yeah.
That was cool. That was fucking sweet.
Yep, yep. I thought Raw was a lot of fun. I mean, you had another Penta match, the Charlotte promo where she got booed. I like the New Day's new entrance song, which was awesome.
Some
I guess.
somebody had a graphic about Penta being the Iron Man of the men's Rumble match at 46 minutes. Somebody's like, "Was he though?"
Yeah, there's been a lot of. I mean, that's almost been broken down as much as the Bruder film of did his foot touch, didn't it touch? A lot of people said it did. Other people say it didn't. But I mean,
it wasn't obvious enough to where,
yeah, because
you know what I mean, like,
the referees would have pulled him, but you know, it's I'll give him a pass because he's never been in a Royal Rumble before. You know, it's the first like kind of like mistake thing he did. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's just
it barely touched. It's not like his whole body fell out
right.
and then he went back in the ring.
He's just a little taller than he originally thought he was, and you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, he had his match against Kaiser, and then a New Day match, which, like I said, I like their new theme. We got so we're starting to get the elimination qualifier matches, which are good. So we had Liv and EO with Liv.
Yeah, Liv won.
Yep, because thanks to Rhea interfering in the match by
Yeah.
accident. And then we had Seth come out and do his promo, which I couldn't tell what Seth was dressed as. He looked like a little bit between. Do you ever see the show Heels with Stephen Amell?
Some.
So that
little
like
bit.
the dude that plays like the old wrestler, I forget what he calls himself, but he wears like a hat kind of similar to that with like a duster and stuff, and so he kind of reminded me of that guy and like I don't know, some weird version of the Undertaker or something. Like he looked interesting, but Seth, you know, came out and cut his promo. He kind of justified everything. And then the Punk versus Sammy, which was a fucking awesome match, and then Kevin Owens attacking Sammy afterwards. So, I mean, we got an idea of like where some of this stuff is going leading into Elimination Chamber and possibly getting a glimpse at what we're going to get at WrestleMania. So we're gonna have a long time though between Elimination Chamber and Mania, because Mania is like mid-April now, right? Is it like the 16th or something like that?
Yeah, 19th, 20th or something.
Yeah. So it's the latest.
So, did you hear today?
It's ever been.
Did you hear supposedly night 1 is starting at 3:00?
Well, the Stand and Deliver is going to be on, so maybe that's what they're talking about.
No, the Stand and Deliver's on at noon, and then night 1 starting. Now I don't know if that's the pre-show starts at 3, and maybe it's going to start at 5.
Yeah,
but I mean, maybe we'll have to look into that. I just saw a graphic where somebody said it has to be pre-show starts at 3.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see.
Like that would make sense. Like if pre-show starts at 3, and then like, I mean, for Mania you could do like a nice 4-hour pre-show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, April 19th and 20th. Yeah, because if they started at 3 o'clock our time, that's
noon in Vegas.
Yeah, no, it's 4 hours. It's a 4-hour difference. It'd be 11 a.m. in Vegas.
That's only 3.
Oh, 4. Okay. I know it's
3-hour
difference. It's a 4-hour difference. This time of year it's a 4-hour difference.
I don't think so. I think it's always 3.
I think daylight savings changes it.
No.
Hold on.
It's always 3.
I'm gonna find out here.
Okay.
I'm...
Don't believe me. You're thinking of Arizona, because Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time. So Arizona goes from 2 hours to 3.
Fucking right, okay?
No, Arizona. No, you're thinking Arizona. Arizona doesn't do it.
I know.
So they go from 2 to 3. So
but there's never a time where it's a 2-hour time difference between us and Vegas.
No. Arizona.
So it's all. So you're saying it's always.
You'd have to ask Michael. Michael would know, obviously.
But I'm talking about. I don't care about Arizona. I'm talking about Vegas. It's always a 3-hour difference.
It's always 3-hour difference. Yeah, same like California and stuff.
Weird. I thought it was 4 for some reason.
No.
All right. Well, anyway. Now that we've learned that, So it would be weird for it to start at noon Vegas time, especially.
Yes, it's got to be pre-show, because somebody's like, "Oh, no, there's no way." Like,
and it would be so fucking
makes sense.
Hot. It'd be so fucking hot at that time. It'd be the hottest part of the year, of the day.
Yeah. No, like I said, it makes sense for, like I said, I can understand a 4 hour, even if it was 3, if it started at 6
Yeah,
and went to like
with the Rumble started at 6, which was weird, but it was kind of nice. It was over by like 10:30. But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go. I'm excited. I love the Royal Rumble. Did not disappoint this year. I was happy that everything turned out the way that it did. And I'm not mad at Jay winning. I get it. I understand it, and I thought it was done extraordinarily well. So I won't be mad at
I mean, and real quick before I know you want to wrap up and stuff, but is this the biggest upset win in Rumble history that you can think of off the top of your head?
It'd be a toss up between that and Del Rio. I didn't see Del Rio ever winning the Rumble at all. Okay. I mean, I could
like you can't say Ray because that was after Eddie died. Like you kind of figured Ray was going to win.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say yes only because not that Jay isn't a big star because he is, but you're talking about a Rumble where Punk, Rollins, Reigns, Cena. I mean, those are 4 of the biggest ever names in WWE.
Well, that's what you thought the Final Four was going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think, I guess in that aspect, it would be yes, because even when Del Rio won, it was a 40-man Rumble that year.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't like the names like that. You know what I mean? That would be like if Rock and Austin were in it. You know what I mean? With like Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker.
It's like Jericho win the Undisputed title.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, I can't, off the top of my head, like, especially in recent memory, especially in the last 15, 20 years when the Rumble has been so freaking, like, big time, like, I can't think of any other big upset win, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I got.
All right, cool. Well, that's all I got. We went on for about an hour, so we can go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you guys for listening this week's episode of the show. It should be posted either tonight or tomorrow morning. So that'd be Friday morning. So we try to post an episode every Friday. But that all depends on if we end up recording on Thursday. But you have Kevin and I. Riley never did show up, but that's okay. He did not officially quit the show like he alluded to last week, so he should be back.
He did at least acknowledge a text.
Yes,
so
he did. So, but yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the show. Hopefully you enjoyed the Royal Rumble like we did. Let us know what you think. Hit us up on X at Live Your Gimmick, or leave a comment on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or on YouTube. Let us know what you think about the show, and we will gladly interact and get back with you. So, with that being said, for Kevin, I'm Jason, reminding all of you out there to be a fan and always live your gimmick. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
That was weird. All right, and we're clear.